on the performance of the track and certainly the tyres. It looks like the lap time as Maverick Vinales is 1:55.053, pretty impressive. Vinales actually topped this corresponding test in Qatar 1 year ago with a 1:54.330, so they're only 7/10 of a second outside the best pace set last year. You know, just seeing some pictures from earlier on live at the Lusail International Circuit and Qatar. You might see on that graphic as well, it's been a welcome return to form for the factory Yamaha man Maverick Vinales, who struggled some. In those first two tests of the year in Malaysia and in Thailand, but we know that the Yamaha works exceptionally well around the Doha circuit. In fact, Yamaha have been victorious in Qatar in 5 over the last 6 years. What's been the early feedback, Simon?
The guys are pushing. The only other thing that I've noticed is a couple of them mentioned out of turn 1 going to turn 2, the direction of the wind really affected them. Felt like you know, getting pushed around and not trusting the front in there. Oh, Pedrosa did crash on that corner. Heat, you know, through the afternoon and then go through sunset, cold track temperatures, which he said the tyres felt so different it was confusing for him. I can really relate to that, but they've got to do it, and when the race comes here. Pedrosa having 2 crashes, you know, today on the first day. He's obviously pushing hard. The first one he rode back to the pit lane. The second one, the bike was not good. He got a lift back, but he seems fine from what I can see. Then also Rabat went down.
Welcome back to Qatar. It's time for the second update of the day from the Lusail International Circuit. And what a day it's been so far. Currently, it's this man who's fastest, Andrea Iannone on the Suzuki, a circuit he's always gone well at previously in years gone by, and no exception in testing on day number 2 for Andrea Iannone. Very quick, a fastest lap of 1:55.195, 22 laps on the board. He stated though yesterday that the main difficulty with the GSX RR at the moment is a difficulty in changing direction under braking, so that's something the team will be looking to try and solve. Alex Rins, he was the second rider out on track when the green flag went out earlier on this morning, has currently set 10 laps on board his Suzuki machine, and of course is having a better start to pre-season than he was in his rookie year in 2017 with no injuries so far. Andrea Dovizioso, second quickest, 19 laps on the board for him, a time of 1:55.428. That is around about 4/10 of a second slower than the quickest time that we saw yesterday. But Dovizioso, he's had something of a quiet pre-season so far, but as is the case with Dovi, never you can count him out. Jorge Lorenzo was the quickest rider out on track earlier on this morning, purely because he was the only rider out on track before the rain came down. Now sitting a little bit further down the order, but said yesterday that he's feeling a bit more comfortable with the bike than was with Thailand. Over to the Alma Pramac Racing team, and a difficult afternoon for both riders because they went down at turn number 1. That apparently was due to some fluid on track. Danilo Petrucci and Jack Miller unfortunately succumbing to that. They were okay and unharmed, as we can see here, but talking to MotoGP's technical director Danny Aldridge, they were trying to work out exactly what happened. The red flag for this was thrown just before 6 p.m. local time, although the session has since restarted, and we've had a number of riders setting good, fast lap times. But it's a big shame for the Alma Pramac Racing team, who of course have got a lot of work to do to get those bikes back up and running. Honda, Marc Marquez is inside the top 5 currently, with Cal Crutchlow also, of course, for HRC this year, doing very, very well. Both riders are testing various new parts on the bike, but the team and indeed the manufacturer having one of their best starts to pre-season that we've seen in recent years, which is very, very good to see. Here is the rider from Coventry then, Cal Crutchlow. Of course, 2 Grand Prix wins in 2016. Just 1 podium for him, though, last year. Really did make it a difficult 2017 for the British rider. He, of course, will be hoping for some better results, and with that HRC contract in his pocket, it should give him the opportunity to do so. Aprilia, a good day for them so far. Both riders currently inside the top 10. Alicia Spargaro just ahead of Scott Redding at the moment. The team are using their 2017 configuration of engine. It's been slightly modified, though, to try and bring it a bit closer to the 2018 spec, although we're not expecting the full 2018 engine to debut in that RSGP until the first round of the season at Qatar in a couple of weeks' time. Regardless, though, they are looking good at the moment. We're not entirely sure of the tyres that they have been running on, but we'll keep a beady eye on that. Over to Yamaha, Rossi inside the top 10, whilst Maverick Vinales is slightly further down the order. Vinales disappointed, actually, after ending day 1 as the quickest rider. Said that the team still needs to do a bit more work in terms of finding the right direction. Of course, it's been a very difficult pre-season for the factory Yamaha team. Both riders looking strong in some areas, however, they've really been struggling in others. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what tactics they will opt for in the 2018 season as they try to mount a very serious championship charge. Just going back to Valentino Rossi very quickly, he said that he will be likely to race for another 2 years into 2019 and 2020. Although he won't be fielding his own team during those couple of years. Over to the Monza Yamaha Tech 3 team, Johan Zarco looking very quick, has set the most number of laps of any rider inside the top 10. The Frenchman, of course, very, very quick in his debut year. And Hafiz Sayrin also doing a really, really promising job of developing to that YZR M1. Said he's riding it more like Lorenzo style, which seems to be paying dividends for him. And finally, KTM, Paul Espargaro, unfortunately out due to injury, means that the team are only fielding Bradley Smith and Mika Kallio for day number 2, with both riders having set a total of 40 laps out on track so far as they make crucial development and try to break inside that top 10 consistently throughout the 2018 season. Anyway, that's all we have so far from the Losail International Circuit. Keep up to date with everything in the meantime on MotoGP.com.